Hey guys, this is Mr. Gaming for Fun coming at you with a deck profile for pure Yang Zings. I built this deck a couple days ago out of like shits and giggles just to mess around with it, and it turns out I played it today at my locals and I ended up getting first place, which did not expect it, was really happy about it, and I really wanted to share it. So let's get into the deck profile, side deck, extra deck. Alright, for the main deck we're going to start off with 3 Chai Wan. Chai Wan was really good recovery fodder from the grave if I destroyed something. And so I enjoyed it. Didn't use it as much as the next guy, but he really came through when I needed him most. The heart and soul of the deck, I've got 3 Zhao Tu, Darkness of the Yang Zing. If you're playing Yang Zing, this is the heart and soul that you really need to run 3 of. If you know the attributes of the deck your opponent's playing, because most decks nowadays are dark type, earth type, depends on your meta, and it just depends on the attribute. Even, I didn't play Pendulum Magician, but if I went first and I was able to use his effect, I could stop Astrograph and all those other dark Pendulum Magicians, I'm pretty sure. Depending on just what the hand is, that's how the game usually goes. But after that, I've got non-tuners. I've got 2 Pulao, which immune to spells is one of my favorites. I activate Dark Hole. They lose their stuff. They wonder why my guy's still alive, and this guy's the reason. After that, running 3 traps. The trap immunity, 3 Bixie. So I run Skill Drain in the deck and combo this with to synchro summon into, like, let's say Shao Feng or Beals of the Diabolical Dragons. You pretty much give your opponent a hard time, and they'll probably have to scoop unless they're running like the Kaiju engine. After that, I'm running double BN, Earth of the Yang Zing, just because he's another Yang Zing name. He's the Earth type. I'm using him in order to counter Goki, which are a big problem I'm noticing at the places I'm playing. Goki Nightmare is the deck to go now, apparently. It's probably gonna end up being in the top cut after we get our ban list, which hoping we get it soon, but you know how Konami is. Let's see, I'm running 3 Suwani, Fire of the Yang Zing. He's great for making high levels, just at level 4. I mainly used him as my my poker, like he would attack for 19 every so turns until I could get my my deck rolling and snowballing into something better. Let's see, this giant pile. I'm running 1 Tao Tai because I just need a middle finger to Borolo Dragon and Big Eye and any other stealing cards people want to play. And then to finish off the lineup of monsters, 2 Zephyra Niu. Just because I can special summon him, I can sit on him if the opponent can't do anything, and if he's destroyed I can search out the spell or traps. That covers the monster lineup. For the spells, I've got my draw power as 3 Yang Zing Path. The amount of times most of my monsters were in the grave by destruction, mainly by my own effects, was something that blew my mind. At one point, one of the grind games I was playing, it was a Crawler Subterror combo deck, and my entire deck, like 3/4 was in the graveyard. All I had were spells and traps in my deck, and I drew into this, and that was actually what helped me turn the tide and win the game. The next draw power, I'm playing 1 Upstart. I'm doing 1 Monster Reborn. It helped me a lot to revive my guys once they were destroyed. I'm running 1 Dark Hole just because this deck pluses off you destroying your own monsters. And for the final spell, I'm running 1 Soul Charge, which this card right here, along with Yang Zing Path, was the card to change my play. and changed the tide. But it turns out when I soul charged and went into I actually made a Xiao Feng with the original 5 Yang Zing. So Chai Wen, Big C, Paolo, Suwani. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it was the original 4 without the Earth guy. And they solemn strike that, and that was where I felt like, man, I thought I had this. But it turns out I was still able to change the tide, because after Soul Charge I activated Yang Zing Path and recover some cards. After the spells, I'm running 2 Creation, which this card is really good in pure Yang Zings. Just extra resources to summon out. It's like, oh, I have a Baxia and destroy something. I get a summon off of that because of the destruction, and then I use Creation to summon something else. So that one, I'm enjoying it. This one, I'm thinking of actually bumping up to 3. And then after that, I've got 3 9 Pillars, which this comboed with this one comboed with Creation, just caused even more shenanigans. After that, I'm running Oasis of Dragon Souls. I still want some recovery, but I did try playing 3 of these in my testing. It was too much, even with the way the deck is running. 2 is like nirvana for it. It's perfect. After that, I'm running 3 Waterfall Dragon Souls. The amount of salt I had people, the way their reactions were and how salty they were, was all thanks to this card getting me Zhao just to go into Beals or Xiao Feng. Because it's a 1 card combo. I have my field empty. I'm able to summon that guy and then ditch 2 Yang Zing cards in my hand and special summon. And this is an automatic 3 of it's perfect. I'm also running 1 Skill Drain. I only saw it once, but I'd like it to stay in there just because it's a great card if the opponent has a bunch of links, and I can just stop them from playing their effects. And then, let's see, to finish off the lineup, 3 Torrential Tribute. This card, really good. And then this was my, this right here was my secret tech card that everybody that I played against did not expect. And it was the card that really pissed off everyone I played. I'm playing 3 Needle Sealing. 4 monsters on the field minimum, both sides of the field. Anything that's face up gets destroyed. And then just to round it off, I'm running 2 strikes and 1 warning. I saw the strikes more than the warning. I only used it once, but it's still it's a good ratio. I enjoy it. I don't think I would throw in that 3rd strike unless I absolutely needed it. And then to finish off that takes care of the main deck. And now we got the extra deck, which I threw it together without really thinking. I was up till like 3 the night before trying to make an extra deck for this. And one of the cards I missed out on was I forgot to add Trishula into the deck, which I'm going to change it. I'm going to probably take out one of the Xiao Fengs. So starting off with the extra deck, I've got 1 Cataster, just in case they're not running dark types and I can automatically destroy it. Make him with Chai Wen, Bixie, and Pulao. And you've got a monster that can't be destroyed by spells, traps. He's immune to them. And if the opponent doesn't have dark monsters, they can't run him over. After that, I'm running 1 Armades, just another level 5. Again, spell, traps, you can, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I messed up on that count. It would probably be like Bixie, Chai Wen, and Bien. So they would have to destroy it by like spell or trap, whichever one you don't use for the level 5s. I'm running 3 Yazi of the Yang Zing. It sucks that we don't have Danglong, thanks to dinosaurs ruining Yang Zing last year. We can't use Danglong anymore, which makes me cry. But I only saw him once, and I only played one of him, and that was in the grind game with crawlers and subterras I played on the round 4. I'm also running 3 Baxia, which I ended up using 3 in the grind game. I used 2 at the most in the other games. I'm still going to keep it at 3 just because it's a really good card to shuffle back their stuff, and you can pop your stuff, combo that with creation, and just keep spamming out more monsters. I'm also playing 1 Beals of the Diabolical Dragons, who, if I had more copies, I would be running 2, maybe even a 3rd one of it, just because if you play the right Yang Zings to combo off it, number 1, you can make it 500 attack. You can make it immune to spells or traps. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, if you do the light Yang Zing, the wind, water, and fire, he's a 3500 that is immune to spells or traps. So you've got it's already something hard to get over, but to add that extra protection just adds more salt to the game. I'm running 2 Xiao Feng of the Yang Zing, which after today, and considering that I need Trishula, I might take out 1. I saw both of these most games, and usually that's because I kept giving up 1 for a Link monster, which that's the problem with this deck, but I'll get into that later. I'm running Leo, the Keeper of the Sacred Tree, just to add extra levels for higher monsters. And to finish off my synchros, I'm running a Star Eater. Just spell, trap, immunity. You can make him 3700, and just you can make this an absolute beast. I'd still say Beals is my go-to guy before I go into Star Eater. After the synchros, I'm using Link monsters, which that's the problem with a deck like this. It needs generic links that help it out. And so it's like we can't use same attributes because every single Yang Zing is a different attribute. There's only 2 darks and 2 earths. Everything else is water, fire, earth, or water, fire, wind, and light. And you're not going to be able to get all the same attributes to bring out Mrs. Radiant or Great Fly or anything. So the 2 Yangs, or the 2 Link monsters I added was 1 Decode Talker. I went into this once, and I also went into the next one, Alkashik Magician, just because I wanted to get rid of my. I wanted to make these guys to open up my my extra monster zone and to summon out more Yang Zings that I needed. And that takes care of the extra deck, and now we've got the side deck. And I put a second Tao Tai in the side just in case the opponent found a way out of that first shadow of the Yang Zing. I've got my 3rd Zephyr. I've got my 3rd Pulau and Bien, just to have extra monsters, which I think those guys, the wind and earth, are probably going to go into the deck to add more monsters, just so I don't run out. And then the rest of the side deck is traps. I made sure that I cover my bases on making sure there's no spells. I've got anti-spell fragrance. I got Imperial Order. I was running 2 anti-spell fragrance, and I decided to take one out, put Imperial Order instead, because the opponent will try to MST anti-spell fragrance in response. I put 3 heavy Storm Duster, just because I want to make sure back row is not an option. And then I'm running 2 back to the front. I would run a 3rd Oasis of Dragon Souls if I could find the space, but I wanted these guys just to have another card, and it's not continuous, so That's a bit of a plus, so the monster can stay on the field once this leaves the field. Then I'm running one Solemn Strike, that's the third one, just to make sure I have that option if I need it. And then to finish the lineup, thanks to Zephyr Neo, I'm running two Zephyr Divine Strike. All Zephyr Neo does is sit on top of the extra deck, and I never use him if I synchro with him, so this is perfect. You don't have to worry about banishing it, like losing it, because by the time you have your synchro and you negate their stuff, you should go in for game and win. But I'm trying different decks right now, building non-meta stuff because I'm kind of done with it. And that's why I decided on Yang Zing's. Turns out it worked out really well today. I went up against a starter deck, which I'm sorry if new people want to come play and everyone else is running like super crazy cards. And then it was a magnet deck and then a Dark Magician deck, which the Dark Magician deck, the guy scooped because Xiao Feng had traps as his materials. The opponent couldn't do anything. And then game two, it was a little bit of a grindy game. I was able to get my cards out, and I was able to use Baxia to get Eternal Soul and Dark Magical Circle back to the deck. And the last game was Crawler Subterrors, which that one took forever. Oh man, I gotta find ways to get around crawlers because those are a real problem. But I hope you enjoy the deck, guys. Let me know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe, and have a